And so as he's walking with Andrew and Simon Peter and Jesus, and seeing Jesus and hearing Jesus speak, as I'm sure they're walking and talking as they're going to Galilee, Philip's got to be going, man, I made a good choice. I made the right choice. That when Jesus asked me to come follow him, I just did it. And so as they got close, Philip ran and found Nathanael. Now Nathanael was, from what it looks like in the scripture, it says he was sitting under a fig tree from what Jesus had said to him, where he saw him at. I would imagine Nathanael was just sitting there under a fig tree, probably trying to take a nap or relax, or who knows. But Philip ran up to Nathanael and he goes, we have found the very person that Moses and the prophets wrote about. His name is Jesus. He's the son of Joseph from Nazareth. And Nathanael probably was looking at Philip going, who? Really? And even, Nathanael's response was, are you kidding? Seriously? Can anything good come out of Nazareth? So at this point, Nathanael was hesitant. I would borderline even say doubtful. Because Nazareth was a place that didn't have a good reputation or representation even for things coming out of it that were good. So pardon Nathanael's hesitancy when Philip runs up to him with all this exuberance and says, we found him, we found the one that the prophets and Moses spoke about, this Jesus, the Messiah. And get this, he's from Nazareth. So pardon Nathanael's hesitation, because, again, Nazareth didn't have that good of a reputation of something good coming from it. Now, how many times... Now, and Philip looked at him and said, come see for yourself. So Philip recognized Nathanael's doubt and challenged him back and said, well, Nathanael, come, see for yourself if you don't believe. Now, how many times have you and I looked at somebody or a circumstance or a situation and said, God can't use that? How is God going to use that for His glory? I've done it. I'll admit it. I've said that to people. I've said that to situations. There have been times that I've looked at people and wondered, how can God save this person? Can this person even really be saved? They're so far gone. Now, as a Christian, that is not the attitude that needs to be displayed. Nor is it the attitude that I'm to carry. Because who am I to say God can or cannot or will not use a certain person for His glory? I'm not. I can't. For God said that He will use the foolish things to confound the wise. Meaning, He will use what we deem unusable and use it to bring people to Him for His glory. You and I cannot sit here and say, God is not going to use this person, that person, or that person, or their circumstance, or his circumstance, or his or her circumstance. Because that is the very thing that God is going to do and use to make the proud look foolish and to exalt the humble. I love Christ's remark in Nathanael's statement. Can anything good come of Nazareth? Are you kidding me? And Christ walked right up to Nathanael and said, "Now here is a genuine son of Israel, a man of complete integrity." Whoa. I am sure Nathanael was about as blown away by that statement as I am reading it. Nathanael must have been like, huh? Me have integrity? A genuine son of Israel? Huh? Are you sure you have the right guy? But I want to believe that Jesus saw Nathanael's heart. He saw Nathanael's genuine hesitance. Jesus, being God in the flesh, already knew how Nathanael's reaction was. But I believe Jesus looked, and God looked through Jesus at Nathanael's heart and said, "He is genuine, and he has integrity." And Nathanael looked at him and was like, "Really? How do you know me?" And then Jesus went on to say, like he said, that before Philip talked to you, I saw you sitting under that fig tree. Now, I believe that Nathanael responded the way I think a lot of us do. When we've been called out, or like we know something is actually really what it is, but we don't want to look foolish in front of our friends, so we say the correct thing to not make ourselves look bad. I've done it. We've all done it. And Nathanael does that here. He says, "You are the Son of God, the King of Israel." Duh. He just kind of showed that to him. So, there's Simon Peter, there's Andrew, there's Philip, Nathanael's close friend, who he had just told Philip, "Really? Can something really good come out of Nazareth? Are you kidding me?" So he's kind of covering his tracks going, "Yes, you are the Son of God. You are the King of Israel." Hoping that maybe Philip and Andrew and Simon Peter didn't see him. But then Jesus challenges Nathanael and says, "Do you believe this because I told you I'd seen you under the fig tree? Do you just believe this because of what I told you? Or do you believe this because of what you see and what you hear? Not from your physical spirit, your physical eyes and ears, but from your spiritual." Do you believe that Jesus is who he says he is based on what you've been told and what you've heard? Or do you believe that he is the Son of God based on the physical evidence of Christ himself in your life or in the lives of others? I believe that God is asking us to come and see with him today. I believe that he is challenging our doubt very much like he challenged Nathanael's. And asking us to move boldly like the disciples did when he said, "Come and see. Come, follow me."